seeing that for the first time, it's like they're like laughing with their friends and stuff, but deep down they knew they were messed up for life. They started changing because honestly, it was like a messed up era. Because like you would see that, and then you'd be thinking about that for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then
dude,
like,
World Star has some fucked up shit.
Yeah, Live Leak too.
Yeah, Live Leak.
World Star, Live Leak. Those people going around doing crimes on purpose, saying World Star, just knocking dudes out and like
Oh, but you would see some messed up stuff early on the internet. Like it wasn't even on purpose. It was not like you were looking that up. It was just like people started like randomly sharing. And it's like, damn, dude, that's messed up. And then you're just sitting there like questioning your whole life.
Yeah,
dude, like, Luis, you were a little bit more like older and just like a year or two though. It's not that much. Did you what did you see like during your youth growing up with the internet that was like fucked up?
You saw the Twin Towers, didn't you? You were there, Ground Zero.
Yeah, I did. But I think the more interesting question is how I met Osama. How I got there in the first place.
Welcome to Bro Taste This.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another exciting episode of Vida y Vino, brought to you by the Bro Taste This Network. Here we are back in one piece and a special episode, my personal favorite. Reminds me of my high school days. Did I ever leave? Episode 69. And you know that voice, the voice that knows the most. It's I, Phill, Golden Corral. And with me today, as always, in person, we got the one and only, the one and truly. He kind of smells like patchouli. It's Juan, legend.
Thank you, homie. Nice to be here with all of you.
Mm-hmm. And as always, the silent but deadly, the ones who knows the melody. It's Leo.
Hello, hello.
And away in the interspace, it is he who rides the web. It is Luis Pablo.
Hello.
Very courteous. I like that. Very polite.
I would have let him date my daughter.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. He's like the Silver Surfer, but for the web.
You did?
The web surfer.
You did?
This could be like a Twilight thing. He could be like, in 18 years, your daughter will be mine.
Nah, shut up. We're not going to go down any road like that.
Well, I mean, this is episode 69. It'd be cool if we talked about romantic movies. No. But we got a lot on the docket today. In honor for it being the special episode, we're going to talk about real life news that is happening in today. As example, Louisiana is putting an end, a kibosh, to all pornographic needs. And we're also going to be talking about the recent controversy and or tragedy that happened with, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong.
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin. I love the ham part, but we wish him a speedy recovery, all jokes aside, him and his family. And we'll talk more about that and our takes on that. Just like the rest of America.
Nah, specifically, though, we're also going to talk about like the reaction by the NFL and the reaction by different leagues who've had similar tragedies happen.
Mm-hmm. And in the sport of combat sports, this is inevitable. Whether it's CTE or fainting in the middle of the field.
Or falling from the rafters.
Exactly. You sly dog. And then we're going to bring it all home, talking about our New Year's shenanigans and how we are progressing within our, second week now? This is crazy.
Yeah, second week of the new year. I'm sure everyone out there has shit that they're all working on. But yeah, to start off, we also poured ourselves a really cool spirit today. It's called, what is it called? Aroma Azul?
Aroma Azul.
Bring up the bottle.
It is a pretty bottle, folks. By the way, this is a tequila. Tequila.
Añejo. So we have a Añejo tequila, which is like the most aged version of a tequila. And it's a ultra premium brand called Aroma Azul. What did you guys think it tasted like on the first sip, boys?
I just had my first sip in person right now, and usually with most tequilas, it burns. It's like napalm, scorched earth. It's just it dries up everything, evaporates. I'm left very dry in my mouth, right? But this is so sweet. It did the opposite. It added moisture to my mouth.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, if I was in an avalanche, I would want those big Saint Bernards. You know how those they have the
have this shit in there.
yeah. Instead of the whiskey, get rid of the rum, get rid of the whiskey. Give me that.
Give me that shit. Give me that shit.
Tequila añejo.
What about you, Leo?
It is super sweet. Like
It is
I've
sweet,
never
right?
tried, like a tequila that's actually sweet.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree
It's
with
more
you.
Like the actual plant, and then just like burns afterwards. But this one's pretty sweet.
It's
I'll speak more into the mic because I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say, to me, it kind of reminded me of almost like port wine. It was like
wow, yeah,
almost like raisiny, pruny, shit like that. Yeah, very raisiny. Like
if you like the effects of tequila, by that I mean it doesn't give you that much of a hangover compared to like the heavier, grainier alcohols, right? Tequila, this is a good one to go with because some tequilas like the Jose Cuervo, not to throw dirt on their name or cacti juice, but it's not as smooth as the tequila añejo.
yep, yeah, very much so.
It kind of sounds like Danny Trejo. So
Yeah,
like,
see, añejo trejo.
Mhm.
Say that like 15 times.
I'm a big fan of alliteration, and if I'm not to be
That's not
mistaken,
what alliteration is, but that's what I love about you.
hell yeah. If I'm not to be mistaken, I think Luis' favorite alcohol is tequila.
Yeah, that's right. Luis, what's your favorite style of tequila? Have you ever had this one or heard about it?
Never heard about it. Never even came across it. But no, I absolutely do love tequila. I think it's probably my go-to behind gin. I think those are usually my two go-tos. But what I was really interested in the bottle, specifically from you guys, is because we try to do our research and look up everything, and there was no reviews on any of the typical websites we find. So you guys are saying it's sweet. That's kind of interesting coming from a tequila, because even like the high-end stuff that I've tried, like the Clase Azul and anything else, like you don't get those notes of sweetness. You get the punch that is the agave, and then usually that aftertaste of a little bit of burn.
Yeah.
And it burns like the ring of fire. A little bit of Johnny Cash in my mouth right now.
You know what this kind of tastes like after like my third or fourth taste?
Mm-hmm.
You know how you can make an old fashioned out of like añejo tequila? That's kind of what this tastes like an old fashioned in a bottle. You know what I mean?
Get out of town. You can make old fashions with tequila?
Yeah.
What is that called?
It's called a Oaxacan old fashioned, but like
Oh, okay.
typically you would also add some mezcal, but you can leave that out if you want.
I thought it was going to be like a south of the border Manhattan or something
No.
like that. Okay. Not bad. I like that.
But yeah, very sweet. Yeah, definitely like on the sweeter side, but super smooth. Super smooth.
I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan of tequila, right? Because I've just always been a gin. I like to feel awful when I wake up. Right? I like to really, sit in my regrets. And
You do wine? What do you do? Beer?
Gin?
Gin? That's not bad though.
Beefeater? London Dry Gin?
Well, it's not bad for hangovers. It's just because it has a higher ABV, so you're like drinking like probably like 15% more than you would.
Oh yeah, and like with tequilas, my go-to was the Espolón, and this just knocks it in the dirt, dude. Holy crap!
Yeah.
I thought Espolón was the top tier. No way, man. There's a whole different universe.
Espolón is decent, but not compared to no. I remember for the Halloween party, I had a bottle of Espolón.
Mm-hmm.
I was passing it around, and everybody turned it down. Everybody's, nah, dude, I'm good. I don't want that shit even near me. Yeah, I mean, I consider Espolón pretty decent. Like, it's a pretty, like, all-natural tequila.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, you have it, and you're like, oh, this isn't, like, Jose Cuervo. This isn't sweet at all. Like, it's just, it just burns, Just 100% fucking packs a punch.
It clears that phlegm out.
I'll take the tequila with the high fructose
But going
corn
back
syrup.
to
We gotta appreciate
not
tequilas
feeling
right now.
hungover.
Go on, Luis.
Yeah, going back to not feeling hungover. During Christmas, we bought like a Premier. I don't know what you call the bigger bottles. I always forget. But the bigger bottle of what was it? Casamigos.
Mhm.
Just Casamigos Silver, which is like an okay tequila. Like it really just does well because of the name. And I mean, I drank like a motherfucker. Both me and my fiance got hammered during Christmas, and then felt fine the next day. Felt way better than we should have. Like, didn't wake up with a hangover. A little bit of a stomach ache because we ate so much, but no hangover whatsoever.
Damn.
It was nuts.
That makes sense. I mean, if you guys really think about it historically speaking, our like ancestors must have been getting stupid fucked up of like cacti, and then waking up like being ready to be invaded by a different tribe or like by wild leopards or whatever.
I don't know that they were distilling things. I think that was like a product of like colonialization. I think.
You know what?
Like, I'm just guessing.
There is actually proof that the Mayans, I think the Mayans. What's the other tribe name with the M?
Mexica.
Mexica.
Yeah,
it's some M one, but they would distill beer, and
okay.
they would like.
All right, I might be totally wrong.
They would hold
the fermentation distillation of blue agave has been traced back to over 1,000
Whoa!
years.
Look at you,
by the Aztecs.
bro. Look at
the
you,
Aztecs.
homie.
Yeah, there we go.
And it used to be pulque. It wasn't
That's
tequila.
beautiful.
It was just pulque.
That's beautiful.
And you know what's cool? They used to hold it to the cheers, how we do like that, right?
Yeah.
They used to hold it up to the sky because they believed the sun would give it like make it taste better and like give it
that's
that full
cool.
taste.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
You know, and all throughout the history, different cultures always have like a different meaning for cheers and all that stuff. So, our ancestors
Drinking, different drinking rituals as well.
Dude,
like
they're partying up
thing you
and-
just said.
It's like the movie El Dorado. They were playing that soccer ball game probably, and they're waiting for El Conquistadors to come and mess them up.
God damn it, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, but they used to make pulque out of it, and then when the Spanish came, they started realizing like, oh, you can make tequila at a larger scale. But tequila's probably gonna go extinct soon.
They were probably like really
Yeah.
confounded when they had like the tequila and was like, wow, this is delicious. How can this be? They don't know what God is.
There's also a fun fact. There's a lot of additives that are allowed to be added to tequila. If it doesn't say like 100% blue agave, there's a chance that there's like additives in there. Like they add like vanilla extract and shit like that.
Oh, they try to make it sweeter on purpose instead of natural.
Yeah, sometimes. Yes,
Yuck.
sometimes. So you have to like look out for your brands and shit.
Well, isn't the actual plant?
It's also like the number one.
Oh, number one what?
The actual plant is dying. I'm actually more interested in that.
Well, it's because dude,
It has to do with climate change, right?
No, it's because it takes like 10 years for one agave to grow, but like it's like the most sold spirit in the world.
Yeah.
They don't got time to be growing. Waiting 10 years, so they're that's why they're adding more and more additives and just like making the flavor of tequila instead of actually being from agave.
That's true. That's also true. Because the market is like demanding so much fucking product.
And like they only grow in one state of Mexico, and that plant takes like 10 years to mature to be able to make it into tequila.
I might just want to build a time machine just to get back and get authentically drunk with the purest tequila ever. You guys don't know, from my time, this is garbage. This is pure. You don't know how lucky you have it. What, your family died of measles? Trust me, this is much better.
This is actual tequila.
There's no vanilla in here.
Getting off the tequila thing, though, and getting to one of the other subjects we were supposed to talk about, boys.
How do
you feel about like all the recent talk by whether that be politicians or just like in the air about like porn regulation and basically like applying sort of like filters or shit like that depending on what state you live in?
I feel like this is a sign from like above, like some like otherworldly spirit is like talking to me and saying, Phill, you're making a right decision. This year, like I said before, I've been trying to ease off porn, and the beginning of the year I deleted all my porn tabs, and I had like about 24.
Luis, bro, you're gonna love this. This motherfucker kept his like porn tabs on his phone, dude.
Oh yeah.
You're aware?
No, he told me that. He actually shared them with me, but I refused to look at any of them. But yeah,
It was literally just him and I
wanted
too. It
to
was just
continue
us,
because- Yeah, it wasn't like recorded or anything. He was just telling me personally, like, yeah, I had 26 different, and I'm like, why don't you, like, wouldn't you remember some of them, or wouldn't you like
Keep it in
recall
a
me?
notes
But no,
tab, bro. Like,
it saves me the trouble, and I'm like, how bad do you have to nut? Like, how bad is that nut bulging?
It's like
Yeah, 20.
it's
like,
a quicker
I can
step, right?
understand
Instead of
maybe-
looking it up, pull it up, it's right there.
Bro, I'm trying to speed run my little sessions, man.
Sometimes you only got 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, you gotta
dude,
keep
5
going.
minutes? He doesn't have that kind of luxury.
Dude, people always talk about like, oh, trying to find that video that they remembered from that one time. It's like Phill never lost it. It was always there.
It's backed up in some hard drive. But no.
How is that going then? How is like weaning yourself off of that going?
Now that I'm older, it's really funny, but like I kind of did have a problem with like just. I mean, as is obvious as I'm saying, I had 24 incognito tabs, but at one point when I was seeing that Malaysian chick, right, I had a laptop and I had a bunch of my like.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah,
I had a bunch of my porn saved up in a different folder and all this stuff, and she went through
you're
my
like
laptop.
a squirrel in the winter, bro.
And like, okay, so here's
Your
the thing.
mistake was not labeling the folder. The folder should have said "not porn." Do not look here.
I had just too much trust, but then again, like I said, now that I'm older, I can look back and like look at it like, wow, that is actually an issue. That is like,
Yeah.
it really warps your mind and like you said, I'm like a squirrel. Like I will never experience this pleasure outside of this one video. I got to save it forever. And that's, I mean, like, you know, I was a young bachelor back then.
You were a young warthog at that time.
Oh yeah. And before I met her, I just had a bunch of porn saved on my computer and like good porn, like 4K quality. That production.
Dude, you had 4K back then? No, you did not.
Like the story was written out, fleshed out.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
characters, right?
Johnny Sins was a popular guy.
Dude,
back
I think
then.
Scorsese directed some of those.
It was really.
This shit was like A24 films.
You had to rewatch some of them. Like, damn, what the fuck?
Dude, I remember those Avatar parodies.
But you know, I just had a bunch of porn, and like, I mean, most of it was like my typical stuff, like stepmom, and like I was really into moms back then. So
You really wanted that mommy?
yeah, yes.
So how are you? How has it come full circle to you wanting to get off?
Oh, I mean, it's just the fact that like I don't have a laptop saved with a bunch of porn now, but I had a phone just like I said, ready to go. You once you get to an age, you look back on it and it's like I'm just wasting my time. You only get certain amount of nuts in your life, and you know there's no point
Could
in
you
wasting.
tell the audience and all of us
I
in
don't
the
think
room,
that's true, bro.
How many phones do you?
That's a good thing about being a guy. You
How
get
many
Yeah.
phones do
limited.
you currently
I think
own?
there's like stories of like 80-year-olds having kids.
Yeah, but 80-year-olds don't have 3 phones. Like Luis was saying, I currently have 3 phones at the moment.
That's true.
They just get a new phone too,
Yeah.
and then you already have 24 on there.
Oh no,
No.
I'm talking about my
That
current
old-
phone.
all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My new phone, no, that's work.
Leo, have the mic be more in your face.
That's pure work, baby. Hey. So I mean, as my personal story, you know, hopefully I can share with people and they can relate if you are going through it. Like, you know, ease off of it. In
There is a lot
Louisiana,
of people going through that similar problem, specifically young men.
it sounds like the whole state of Louisiana is going through the issue of like they need to like require ID.
Bro, it sounds like the Christian youth minister like became the fucking governor of Louisiana or some shit if they like enact that.
I mean, I'm not against sex work or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like demonizing, you know, like progressive sexual activity. But kids are kids. Maybe you should be at least 21 to like,
Yeah. I mean, I get that. Like, I totally get that.
to waste your gunk on a
Yeah.
couple of socks and.
Do you,
know?
you guys know what the #1 category right now across the world is?
What is it?
Or not even across the world, but specifically like the #1 growing trend is actually incest across like
Jesus
every
Christ.
state,
Is it really?
across like every site. Yeah. So I
How
think,
long has that
limited-
been a thing?
I
Is
blame.
that like a new development or has that been a thing for a while?
It's got to be
Yeah, new
COVID.
development.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be because of the pandemic. It's got to be because everybody had to be forced up to lock in with their family. People are moving back home. They're like, damn, my cousin's kind of, what the hell? I've been away for like 10 years. What the hell happened? So they're all
Dude, where did I recently hear that joke?
they're all going on their phone and like, I believe it though. It's the pandemic. That's the issue.
Yeah, where like you're only around like one other example of the opposite sex. So like
I mean, lads, when I was in my heyday, I think back then it was like I was just in the cuppuses of the MILF porn and all that stuff. So
dude,
I mean, you had
you were in the
Asians back
golden
then.
era of that
Yeah.
style.
Bro, Lisa Ann, she was like the Scarlett Johansson of like movie stars back then.
Now everything is censored, right?
Thank you, Louisiana. I mean, I think there's some benefits to it.
What do you think, Luis?
No, I think it's good. I think it definitely warps the young man's mind. I think it's the biggest problem with it is the easy access to it and the perception that these people are just like toys to the to the naked eye. But overall, like I think that visualization of like these people is waning less and less, just because like you see some of these artists go on podcasts and like explain like, oh, it's just a character I'm playing. Like I actually hate myself in those scenes and stuff. Like Riley Reid, for example, she was in a couple of David Dobrik's blogs. I don't know if you guys ever watched David Dobrik, but he was like putting the camera on her face and like, do you want to have sex with my friend? And then like forces her to a room. And then she talks about how she was super uncomfortable the whole time. She was like forced to do it. But because these guys have a perception of her like being this like I'll fuck anybody kind of girl, they put her in that situation, make her feel super uncomfortable, and like kind of led to a little bit of SA, which is not cool. And so I think it's good. I think it's good that there's some restriction to it, and there should be way less access to it. But we can't also be like, oh, this isn't like it should be a little bit more normalized for like sex workers and stuff, but not to the extent of like everybody with a phone can easily access it. And I think it's on the family too. Like, kids shouldn't have access to it. I think that comes down to the parents. Like the government being like, this is restrictive. Like, well, it kind of starts at home too. Like you got to be able to put child locks on all that stuff.
Honestly, that's beautiful. You should run for senator. Like have the government be your daddy. You could be our daddy.
Well, if this doesn't work out, I think I know where to go.
Hell yeah. I mean,
in other news, please continue.
I would say out of the four of us, like the one that's probably most likely going to have kids is going to be the two of yous. Well, honestly, I take that back. It might be Leo.
Dude, it's going to be Leo, bro.
Bro.
Dude, Leo and Jesse,
Leo.
all the time. They're lovebirds. They can't keep their hands off each other.
Mr. Netflix and chill over here. You're going to be PBS and chill in a couple of years.
No, that's too much stress having. Dude, I don't know. Like the internet does like kind of freak you out because like it's easy to say like, oh yeah, you take care of your kids, but like, dude, I remember being like 13 and like being like, oh, let me have a Facebook, opening that shit up and like be like funny video, and then you see someone's head getting blown off all uncensored.
Oh shit, dude!
And you're like messing with your mind, not even knowing what you're seeing. Like then your whole life changes forever from there. You're like, damn, it's a dark world.
Remember like
all
those like terrorist videos?
Yeah, the early days of Facebook and YouTube were like
beheadings and shit.
Videos too.
They're like
the cartel beheadings.
Yeah,
that should change my life.
Uncensored, like you would see that. You'd just be thinking like it would just be like something random, be like funny video, and all of a sudden like it'll be quick too. It'd be like it wouldn't let you like close it out, and all of a sudden before you know,
but are we worse people for it?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I understand the porn.
Yeah, we're all the dead bodies.
The porn, yes, but like, are we worse for the gore? Like, cause like sometimes like you'll explain something like that. Oh yeah, they used to have beheadings and like to like some normie, and like they'll have no idea, like. So what's
how
worse?
Graphic it was.
Yeah. So what's worse, like flying blind or knowing about it?
Dude, well, the funny thing is like recently the other day I like saw like a video about it, and it's like teenagers like seeing that for the first time. It's like they're like laughing with their friends and stuff, but deep down they knew they were messed up for life. They started changing because honestly it was like a messed up era because like you would see that and then you'd be thinking about that for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then
dude,
just, like,
World Star has some fucked up shit.
Yeah, Live Leak too.
Yeah, Live Leak.
World Star, Live Leak. Those people going around doing crimes on purpose, saying World Star, just knocking dudes out and like
Oh, but you would see some messed up stuff early on the internet. Like it wasn't even on purpose. It was not like you were looking that up. It was just like people started like randomly sharing. And it's like, damn, dude, that's messed up. And then you're just sitting there like questioning your whole life.
Yeah,
dude,
like,
Luis, you were a little bit more like older and just like a year or two though. It's not that much. Did you like what did you see like during your youth growing up with the internet that was like fucked up?
You saw the Twin Towers, didn't you? You were there, Ground Zero.
Yeah, I did. But I think the more interesting question is how I met Osama. How I got there in the first place. I mean, same to you guys. It's nothing like crazy, but like I do remember the BME Paint Olympics and like
the Paint Olympics, bro.
11. Bro, the Pain Olympics were like, I didn't even know you could do that to your genitalia.
Yeesh.
Never
Tell people what that is for
some of that
people who
stuff
didn't
is
know.
Kind of self-explanatory. It was the Pain Olympics, so like you would have different men specifically just upload them like the craziest thing that they could do to themselves. So like one that I remember was somebody put like a screw through their like directly through their dick, like directly down through it. Yeah. But then there's like I think it's like 2 guys, 1 jar or something. But somebody broke like a glass jar in his asshole.
Yep, that's the one I was thinking
that
about
famous
too.
Story of,
Yep.
that one was not good.
I saw that one.
Not
Like,
good.
but people would be stapling their balls and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that one was
Oh, Jesus. Ugh.
Yeah.
Dude, early internet.
Or there was one that was like really messed up called like 2 guys, 1 sandbox. And so they took like we should like put like a hard like censor like cringe alert like for everybody listening, skip maybe like 2 minutes.
Yeah, just a heads up
because it was like pretty bad. I mean, not that the last few weren't bad, but like the one that I recall vividly was somebody would like took like one of those like they almost look like a mouse, you know, but like it's a female pleasure toy, and they were like putting it through a guy's pee hole, and then the dick just like split open.
Oh.
Wait, what the fuck?
That one was pretty bad.
Yeah, they have like little
They took
like
a pocket pussy and
no, not a pocket pussy. They have like little like
No.
you know, like there's like these like little bunnies.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're like
it's like
portable.
the size of your thumb. Like it's like
yeah.
I never knew what it was, and then like I saw this
man.
girl who brought it with her, and I was like, "What is this?" She's like, "Oh, that's my vibrator." I was like, "It's a rabbit." She's like, "Yeah, it's portable." I was like, "What the fuck?"
It's
And
just
then
a little, dude. It's a little thing.
Yeah.
God, man, I feel bad for your wife, but it's
That's comedy.
they just put it, they just put it through, and yeah, dude, the dick like, I mean, it like exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one wasn't good.
And there's also that thing called the gauntlet.
Right. People can't.
Oh yeah. Let's we're done with this. We were, you know, that's
Yeah, we're done with the gore.
that's the scary part though, because you know we're much older now, and we caught it right at the beginning. Yeah, I can only imagine what the kids are going through now. What their BME Pain Olympics is. They probably got war footage of the Ukraine and.
Same stuff.
Well, I think they've made it a lot harder to find that kind of stuff
Yeah,
too,
true.
though. Because like I don't remember the last time I was just like scrolling through Facebook and something like
That's
that. showed
true.
up. Or even like YouTube, dude. Early days of YouTube, people would get away with a lot.
I
And like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can still find it, but it's like a lot harder than what it was. Because like, dude, like that'd be like in your front page. You'd be like, oh, what the hell is this? All of a sudden, like, all you see is like a car driving by and someone getting shot, and then driving away. It's like, what the hell? What did I just watch?
Or
Why
like
is
a
this
half
popular?
a head blown off, shit like that.
Yeah, they're like, or like one time I clicked on one, it's like, oh, what is this? This guy sitting on his couch. All of a sudden he pulls out a gun, shoots himself, the body just laying there. And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
what the hell? And then like, now we all wondering why we all have anxiety and depression.
Bro, my old YouTube algorithm used to be like, dude smoking giant things of weed. Like, all right, everybody, we're gonna do a dab test, and then just doing like they're testing different waxes and like, oh, this makes it taste like honey, and like now that you can't smoke on YouTube.
You can't?
No,
Dude, yo, low key,
No.
guys. I think we're going to have to find an alternative to YouTube. Because, like, they demonetize swearing, bro.
Oh yeah, they just passed a new law or new regulation or rule.
Like, you can't even, like, say...
You can say shit.
Yeah.
and other words.
That's, like, every fucking comedy thing, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like, I genuinely don't know a clean one. Like,
Nope.
personally, at least, where they wouldn't say at least a little shit, you know?
Even Dr. Phill swears, and he's on Prime too. He's on Prime too, doggy.
But maybe the Louisiana law was right. That maybe 18 is the age, like to verify.
You know what? They should make it 30.
Shut up. Phil. They should make it 30.
If you're in 20s, you gotta put your nose to the grindstone. No porn.
You still got another few years to figure it out.
Yeah. You know, hopefully, who else has a few more years to figure things out? Darian Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin. Yes. Damar Hamlin, the guy from the
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills, runner?
No, he was he was a safety for the Buffalo Bills that tried tackling, I believe it was T. Higgins in the Cincinnati
Yeah,
Bengals,
it was.
right? And there was a freak accident, It looked like a very normal tackle. It didn't look like extremely violent or anything. But the runner ran it right into his chest and caused like this freak heart incident, coleus carditis or some shit like that, where if you get hit in like the right section of the rhythm of your heartbeat, like, and it only takes milliseconds, it only stays in that section for milliseconds. It can like kill you. And it's a common, not common, but it's happened in hockey and baseball, but it's never been seen in the NFL. And you would think you would see it because like people run into each other's chests all the time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and he was dead on the field. Like he was dead. He got resuscitated.
Oh, they CPR'd him?
He had cardiac arrest, bro. His heart stopped.
They had to CPR and they used the defibrillator.
His heart stopped, and his heart stopped when he got to the hospital as well. So they had to bring him back twice. But apparently he's like doing a lot better, and he was speaking to some of his family. So,
he was holding hands, and they were saying prayers for him. And all that stuff.
If he can do that, that's like already a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Think of the health insurance that he's going to get from this. This is
long-term
disability.
Maybe.
Or he could be back.
This happened before. Be playing.
Yeah,
he could be back.
I think he would rather be playing and have his health. You know,
different mentalities here. There's always two sides to every.
Dude, you're like Lucky from King of the Hill, bro. You're like, I'm just looking for a place to slip.
I slipped on little pee-pee.
Nah, but I guess like when I saw this, it just made me think of overall like the reaction by the NFL, how they canceled the game. Yeah, and they which is like pretty commendable. And all the
other players were like mortified. Yeah, just like watching a live person die.
Exactly.
They're like everyone was, because I was watching the game live. Everybody was like so confused because at first they hadn't canceled the game. They just said, "Yeah, you get 5 minutes to warm up." And they're like, "What the hell?" So the coaches met with the refs. They're like, "No, we're going back to the locker room." And then they left. And then like they were still in the locker room. And they finally said, "All right, we'll cancel the game."
Oh wow! So it was almost like a
because nobody knew what to do.
Coach decision.
Yeah, because nobody knew what to do.
To play. Yeah,
they were still like literally on the field like crying. Some of the players, and then like the refs came up. It's like, well, we don't really have any rules for this, but the only rule we see is like you get 5 minutes to warm up. And then they're like, "What the hell?"
Just don't let it happen again, boys. Go on and get out there. Go on.
Don't let it happen again. God damn,
you got a game to win.
Go and have fun. Remember,
we're like here showing the close up of their face. They're like bawling.
Dude, every player was fucking balling, dude.
Like, they literally just saw their teammate die. They're not even sure if even he makes it to the hospital he's gonna live because he was like dead.
Damn.
So that like opens up the conversation about like some other on-field deaths. You know, like
this is literally the best segue because like the reaction to everybody crying and like we need to stop this is the complete opposite of what happened in WWE.
Yeah,
that like they did not follow protocol. So to fill everybody in, everyone's familiar with Bret Hart. Bret Hart is like one of the the staples of a wrestler.
He's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yep, Hall of Famer in multiple different companies of wrestling.
Bret the Hitman Hart, dude. He had like the coolest fucking figurine.
Yeah, his figurine had like a little like shades and a little pink leather jacket, and his catchphrase was so like, "He's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be." Unfortunately for his brother, that did not apply to him. So the Hart family, a legacy family in Canada, his Bret Hart and Owen Hart, both in the same timeline of like wrestling. They're both in the same companies, and Owen Hart was starting to get popular. He was being seen as a main eventer, as someone and as the same type of caliber as his brother. Because he's always lived in the shadows of his brother, right? Of Bret Hart, who is like the best wrestler. Everyone praises him. Owen Hart seemed like the comedic relief out of the two. And he was starting to get more of a push, being seen more serious. He was going to be the opening match of a pay-per-view in 1996. Can you look up what pay-per-view it was? I think it was Over the Limit, right? And Owen Hart, they had a whole stunt with him to successfully glide down from the rafters with like a bungee. They've done this multiple times with like Shawn Michaels, my personal favorite, Sting. It's Sting. Everyone loves Sting.
The rock star?
No, the
it was the Over the Edge.
Over the Edge, yep. And what year was that? 96 or 99? 99. Yeah, no, and Sting, he's like the guy that's dressed like the Crow. Everyone loves him. Yeah, pull up Sting quickly.
It's fine Sting. Though. Go on about Owen.
I love seeing Sting. But yeah, he was supposed to glide down from the rafters, and there was a malfunction. And like instead of being harnessed to the rope, he just fell straight to the ring, died at impact. And yeah, it happened right in the beginning.
It was like over 100 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an arena. They're playing on these like, especially in the 1999.
Yeah.
This is the heyday of like The Rock. Bret
Oh
Hart.
yeah.
People love WWE, right?
Yeah.
So they're selling out
The
and like
golden era.
and it was a pay-per-view too. So they're opening this up. He falls down. He's dead. Essentially, they don't know right away he's dead, but like he took a nasty fall. The commentators are like, they're good. Everyone tours together. They all ride together, so they're all friendly with each other. So like they just saw like their coworker die.
Yeah.
Essentially, and they take him to the back, and then there's a call by Vince McMahon that we gotta go on with the show.
Yeah.
And they start off with like the first couple of minutes, like we wish our best wishes to Owen Hart. Hopefully, speedy recovery. And then like the JR, who's still
the
commentates.
cowboy.
Yeah. By God, it's a Nabaswaka.
The Texas draw.
Yeah. He's got cerebral palsy. God bless his soul.
Oh, really? I thought it was just a southern accent.
No, that's he speaks that way because of his disability. No, but it was pretty sad, and the protocol was to commence with the pay-per-view, and all the wrestlers, Stone Cold Steve Austin talked about it in his book because he was good friends with Owen Hart. Owen Hart broke Steve Austin's neck. Stone Cold Steve Austin is famous for like breaking his neck with a nasty pile driver, taking the summer to recover, and coming back as like the biggest guy ever. Like everyone's wearing 316 and like, yeah, fuck my boss, because he's like, giving the stunner to his Vince McMahon. I hate my boss too. And yeah, it was pretty sad because like Stone Cold was the big guy at that time. He's going out there like, with tears in his eye because his best friend, he doesn't know if he's alive or dead. People are like, holy fuck, we shouldn't be performing. Yeah. And he died.
But they kept performing. That's what's important, guys. That's what's important, that you keep the show going.
Yeah. And if it brings up...
They did the same thing at a soccer match.
Where? Well, talk about that, Luis.
Who died when?
This was in 2020 at the European Championship.
Oh, no.
And
you're talking about
Danish player by the name of Christian Eriksen.
The largest, like... This isn't like a amateur league or anything. This is like pro, like the largest shit.
Yeah,
the highest tier, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
this
cool.
was at the. So the World Cup just happened. So besides the World Cup, there's also region tournaments among nations. So there's like one in North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and for the one in Europe that took place in 2020, there was a Danish player, Christian Eriksen, as I just mentioned. I think it was like within the first 15 minutes of the match against Finland, he had the same thing, except no injury happened to him. Like he was just running and then his heart stopped, fell over, and the defender, Simon Kjær, actually ran over to him to make sure he was okay. He thought maybe it was just an injury, realized what was happening, gave him CPR. Then the captain of the team.
That was the captain,
the goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. No, the captain ran over the goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, ran over, realized what was happening, and told the entire team of Denmark to surround him so that if he did pass away, that his last few moments weren't like televised to millions of people who were watching.
Damn.
So
that's
thankfully
super
he was rushed to the hospital. Yeah, he was rushed to the hospital, and then he lived. He's alive. He took, I think, I believe, a calendar year off, and then made a small comeback at Brentford in the Premier League, and is actually now playing some of his best soccer for Manchester United, which is like, 3 years later, and this whole thing happened, and thankfully he survived. So, hopefully the same thing happens for. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but the NFL player.
Damar. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Damar Hamlin, yeah. So hopefully the same thing happens to him, with today's technology and, the recovery that these guys are able to provide. And hopefully the same thing.
Yeah, we like to give a quick shout out, quick cheers to good old the hamster, Mr.
Yeah, the hamster, Mr. Hamster,
Mr. Hamster
the
himself.
hamster himself, Damar.
Damar.
Hey, we're all praying for you, buddy. We're all thinking about you,
Mm-hmm.
dude. That actually reminded me of like one of my like most memorable sports like memories as a teenager. There was this one wide receiver for the Bears that got folded like a chair, dude, and had a spine injury where like he went limp on the field. But the way it happened was essentially he went in catching like an in-cutting route or a slant, something where he's like going right into the defense, and he had caught the ball and he was running with it, and then he fumbled it and like dove in for it, and there was like a 300-pound dude, like a defensive lineman, who also dove in for it, and essentially as they both dove in, his mass is obviously a lot more and literally folded him in half, like at the waist. Yeah, and he was like one of my favorite like players ever, and he had to retire after that, obviously, because he got folded like a chair by like this 300-pound monster. And yeah, like it's just like these guys like really like put it all out on the field, you know, like you can fucking die and like change your life.
You know what's crazy? Like even earlier this year, and it was also with the Bengals when they were playing the Dolphins, and then Tua got a concussion,
and he got another
his
one.
hand was spasming though.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that one too, when like dude he got hit, and like at first I thought that was bad, like before like the whole DeMar one.
Yeah.
Like they had to stop the whole game, but dude, he was down for like 10 minutes and his hand was spasming. He couldn't move his body.
Dude, Tua got another one recently,
Yeah.
and
Oh
like
my God.
they're saying that he's probably done for the year, but I don't know.
That's honestly so scary to think about because like sometimes when I pee, I fart and like I do like a little shake, and like I scare myself when I can't control it.
And then they always say like, "Oh, we'll stop showing the injury after they already showed every angle." Like I remember seeing that one. Like they showed him get hit, and then he just went like his hands were like spasming. He was on the ground, he couldn't move, and they kept showing it different angles. Like, dude, just stop.
Just stop. You're traumatized.
He's got family.
Yeah,
He's probably got kids.
Family. Like they don't even know if he's gonna be paralyzed or not. Like,
Damn. Oh wait, one last thing to kind of end the note on like sports and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you
Break
guys
it down.
see about Dana White? How he hit his wife over New Year's?
Dude, what a fucking fool! Who does that in public, bro?
Yeah, especially in
Who
2022.
does that? Like, yeah. Even if they hit you, then like you don't fucking hit them back in public. What?
Yeah,
in public. I said that in public, like you do hit them in private. But no, you just like you're a fucking 300-pound monster, dude.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you do the honorable thing. You put her up against the wall and then you punch the wall and you say, "Don't do that again." You just ruin your drywall.
dude, you just gave all of our female listeners like PTSD from like their aggressive fucking boyfriends that they probably dated.
I love you. Don't you see what you're doing
same
to me?
thing
Don't you see what you're doing to me?
My hand hurts now.
The same thing happened to the American team soccer coach. Recently, the USMNT, the United States men's national team, conducted an investigation following some allegations from Greg Berhalter. And there was the allegation was that he was violent towards his wife. And it makes it seem like it all did happen because he actually put out a tweet saying, like, my behavior that night wasn't okay. I really apologize. Good luck to the rest of the team. And it was an honor, blah, 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 blah. And there's also some stuff going on from this World Cup that like some players were distraught with him and some stuff wasn't all okay. So it just makes it seem like, okay, this clearly had been happening. There were some also former employees that are like speaking up. So it's a private investigation and it's very fresh, very recent. So I'm sure things are going to come up more as they go. And
Flesh it out, Luis. What did you say the allegation was? Like, did like inappropriate touching or comments, or what, do you know what it was?
No. Violence towards his wife. The head coach.
Fuck, dude.
There was this lady.
Oh, I was asking
And,
because you said that there
and
was also some
also-
other stuff with the employees. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I bet
exactly.
Yeah.
It could be some more violence, and I know this like might not be politically correct, and I might be on the wrong side of history here, but I don't think it's cool to hit women, and I'm just gonna go out there and say it. I'm not gonna stand for
Bro,
it.
I love
and
this
I'm
setup.
ready for the abuse to come my way.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm not. I don't think it's cool.
You know what,
It's
brother?
like, are we recording?
I'm gonna stand with you on that. tall, unpopular
Yeah.
hill and defend that with you, my friend. Back to back, we will fight for our lady friends out there.
Hey, let's make sure we're recording and then we'll repeat ourselves. It's like, no, stop. I don't want to be recorded.
All right, let me repeat that again for camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3.
I stand with women. It's like, was it recording?
Yeah.
But no, it's
The future is female.
hopefully the outcome is that they do lose their jobs though. As much as we like to joke here and like say like, yeah, it's bad to hit, like, beat domestic.
It is fucking bad.
Domestic abuse of any type, whether it's female to male, male to female, male to male, female to female, whatever, is bad. But like, they might not lose their jobs. They might just continue on with another year and be like, oh yeah, remember when Dana White hit his wife? Remember
That's
Dana White, I think, yeah.
That's the one that's got
Dana
me
White, I
fucked
think,
up.
is safe.
You think he's safe?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Damn,
Because
he must be like
Yeah,
one
I
of the
think he's
only
safe.
fucking people in America that can fucking hit his wife in
Yeah,
public.
but he's got an excuse. He works for the MMA. No,
Well-
that's what they do. That's his job, basically. He was just.
I mean, some could say Chris Brown got away with it too.
yeah.
But he's also got an excuse. His music became better afterwards.
First, I disagree. I think most of his bangers was before he was 20.
I heard like some of his music now. I'm like, damn, this is Chris Brown.
Bro, how are you
I
gonna?
will say the American coach did already get
Sacked.
let go. So
Yeah.
that one, like, investigation started. He got let go. There's a new coach that's actually taken over already.
Good.
So they're looking for a permanent guy. But yeah, the thing about the other two guys that you mentioned, Chris Brown and Dana White, Chris Brown, like, he's probably more successful now than ever.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was
Then
saying.
you get Dana.
Is he?
And
Yeah,
like,
bro, how are you gonna hate
yeah,
if you can't
his
even get in?
popularity.
What's that? What's that line? How are you gonna hate if you can't even get in the club?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
Come
is
on,
true.
man. That's Brown. That's easy.
But I would have thought like his
Breezy? Whatever
popularity
his name
peaked
is.
like I don't know 8, 10 years ago.
I
So you
still
guys think
don't
it's now?
It's because he's been like collabing a lot. It's probably helped him a lot that he's been collabing a lot with like Latin artists because he's in a lot of
Oh
music.
yeah.
He's
In
in a lot of
reggaeton?
music now. Yeah. and, like,
Probably.
it's
Yeah.
our culture. We're like, oh, you hit your woman? Come on here, brother. We do that
So-
every other weekend.
just another Sunday. You know?
Yeah.
God damn, bro.
Woo. But
And I wonder why you can't get girls, Phil.
hey, that's my my toxic Latin passion. Mi pasión.
That's the only Latin thing about you, dude. The toxicity, bro.
The one trait I forgot to leave behind
Maybe.
for my ancestors.
Make me some arroz con pollo.
Should we move on to some more positive news and step ahead? And
One last thing about sports though. I don't know if you guys heard, but I didn't know a lot about driving, but one of the big drivers died. We gotta
Ooh.
pay respect.
Who?
Ken Block.
Fuck. Oh, dude, I forgot to talk about Jermey Renner. Speaking of driving,
yeah.
Ken Block, legend,
Ken Block.
DC.
He was
Yeah,
he was into
he was,
drifting and like I saw a lot of people posting about it, and then I was like, you know what, it's kind of like interesting, like what he did.
What
like,
was
all
it?
that
Is it
stuff.
NASCAR
He was-
or F1?
It was like a
F-
drifter.
drifter?
Like,
Oh, so he
started,
wa- it was
and that
an-
kind of like like car projects and stuff where they like, build like,
Okay.
specifically for that, like rally cars and all that. He did like a lot of stunts for like TVs and movies and like.
Oh, all right.
The popularity for these rally cars,
Yeah.
like they tour America and like they sell out. It's like the cowboy rodeo bullshit
Yeah.
that happens in Chicago, right? It's like those. It's that same feeling of that. Like these people come here, they got different teams. They're like I'm team so and so. I'm like fuck your team and all this stuff.
Yeah. Like,
Ooh.
Yeah, but he was pretty big in that, and I just.
Yeah,
like,
he was a monster athlete and DC athlete, so he was like hugely prominent. Like he was like one of the big mascots behind like car racing.
God damn.
But,
You said Jermey Renner had something happen to him too, right?
Oh yeah, what a crazy first couple of weeks of January. Luis, break this down because when I heard this story, I was like, not Hawkeye. Oh no.
Yeah.
Dude, so Jermey Renner lives in a pretty small town, and he would call up like the mayor and just be like, "Oh, does anyone need help? Do you need like?" Because he's in between movies, he just doesn't have shit to do, and so he helps out around town.
What? Yo, what a
Genuinely
wholesome
crazy.
guy. What a
Crazy.
wholesome guy. Can we
You know,
just
he also makes
point
music,
that out?
which makes the whole thing.
He makes music.
What kind?
Yeah, like he makes like some rock music.
Of
I remember
cour- yeah,
one
of
time
course, of course.
I saw like this ad that says like, "Oh, listen to his new album." I started listening to him, like, damn,
It's
going
not
off.
bad. You're like, it's not bad.
Dude, he's probably gonna make metal music now. Like, fuck, my limbs are crushed.
From his electric wheelchair.
Oh, dude, have you seen the what Renner? Okay, Luis, finish
Yeah,
the story
yeah,
about
let
this
Luis
before
finish.
I spoil this. This is so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, the dude, I love Jermey Renner. I thought the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus is probably one of the best things Marvel's done in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
He's great in the not James Bond, but the other one. Fuck.
Johnny English.
Born. He's great in the Born movie. He's great. He's great overall. He's great in the Hurt Locker. He's great in.
He is in the
Mission
Hurt Locker.
Impossible.
Damn,
Oh,
I
hell
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Fantastic.
Damn.
Hurt Locker is one of my favorite
No,
military
he's great
films.
in The Town as well. He's great in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he was helping somebody out who was stuck, and the plow that he uses wasn't like the ones you see on the street where somebody puts like a snow plow in front of their pickup truck. Like this thing is 14,000 pounds.
Yeah, the
Like,
Snowcat.
this thing is massive. Yeah. And as he was helping somebody out, he noticed that the snowplower was rolling away, and he quickly tried to get back into it so that he'd like to prevent an accident or like get control of it again. And actually had the thing roll over him, and it actually crushed both of his legs.
Oh,
And
Damn.
he immediately went to the hospital. He's now in stable condition. Released the video, said everybody thanks so much for like the prayers and the messages. But definitely everybody that's been speaking on his behalf, as well as the doctors, has said like it's a miracle he didn't die.
I hate to make a joke, but like, if you think about it, all the training and the method acting he had from the Hurt Locker, he saw dangers. Like, I know what to do. I'm gonna put my body on top of it. He tried to stop the snowplow with his legs, unfortunately, and you know, because the Hurt Locker is a bomb diffusion.
Yeah.
You know, if you got that, you got that. I guess.
I mean, I don't think he tried to stop it
No,
with his
we
legs.
got the joke. It just
I think he just
didn't
tried to
land
go
well.
in there and
It's just-
probably didn't
Just
let go
crushed
in
his
there.
legs. I know one way to stop this. I've been here before.
I don't think he was like, I've got this, and then like tripped over his own 2 feet. Like, I don't think that's right.
No, he laid perfectly down, and Fly's like, "This is for my neighbor." No good deed goes unpunished, though. let that be a record. No good deed goes unpunished. And it's crazy because like his neighbor was a doctor, right? So like the snowplow ran him over, and luckily because he's
The dude applied a tourniquet or some shit.
yeah, because he's so freaking rich for Marvel that his community is filled with like neighbors, surgeons, psychiatrists. It's the most wealthiest people. So he was in pretty good condition. He's in better care than I am. If I get hurt, I have to call like Primetime or one of the pizza shops
They
near
call
me.
an Uber instead of an ambulance.
They'll get here faster than an ambulance.
Dude, you're still gonna pay that Uber cleanup fee though.
Yeah.
It's better than the ambulance. But
Nasty.
getting off of news and shit like that, boys. How was your New Year?
Well, I got my legs. I didn't beat my wife, so I would say a 10
You
out
had a
of 10.
productive New Year.
Uh-huh.
Good. Luis, how was your New Year?
Did you run over somebody
It
or
was
beat your
lame.
wife?
No, but
I mean, you already told us you
I
drank
didn't
like
do
half a
much, to be
handle,
honest.
right?
That was on Christmas. Yeah,
Okay.
that was an eventful Christmas. Yeah, I did drink a lot also on New Year's.
Didn't you also have
and,
Casamigos? I swear to God, I saw you with a video.
What?
Yeah, I
wait,
did also have Casamigos.
Okay.
Wait, what is that? Casa.
Dude, it was
Casamigos is like the Patron of our generation.
Why? Damn.
It's just like the big name,
yeah.
like mid to premium tequila.
Is it by the
George
rapper?
Clooney's.
It's
Yeah.
like George Clooney popularized it.
It
Oh.
was George Clooney's.
Yeah, it used to be his
Yeah.
brand.
It was like
Okay. I gotta check that out. I thought it was like a Migos thing or something, like the rapper. It
No,
was like,
Casamigos.
yeah. I was like, okay,
So Migos put out tequila, guys? Is that what you're telling me?
Casamigos. Okay.
Anyways, before you all, bro, why do you always interrupt Luis? Do you have no respect for him? What's
I
wrong
have
with
a
you?
bunch of respect.
Luis, can you please continue before my asshole of a friend interrupted
I was
you?
waiting for him to talk about how he got into domestic abuse, like Dana White over the weekend.
God, dude, this guy's always trying to get you fired.
The silence was so loud.
This guy, dude.
Yeah.
God, how many bombs are you gonna drop today, Phill?
Hey, I mean, this is a special episode, so.
A lot.
There's a lot, dude.
Normally a few land, but dude, you've been like.
Dude, nothing but stinkers, Phill.
Like, the
what
coaches
the
have-
fuck?
Yeah, the coach is debating you on putting you on first base. He's like, dude, I don't think this guy's batting anymore.
Yeah, ugh.
I might need CPR myself.
They're gonna put you out on the outfield, dude.
I'm gonna be fainting over here. Come rescue me.
Like, even that joke. Like, what was that?
Come on, man.
God,
Give me a little CPR. God damn it. Give me that little mouth to mouth. God damn it.
all right, Luis.
you know, it's a shame because I didn't do shit. So it's like all this lead up for nothing. So if he hadn't interrupted me, it'd be like, oh, well, yeah, that does.
That's true. That's
No, I just
okay.
got super drunk. I played a bunch of Uno, like so much goddamn Uno. And actually, the owner and creator of Uno came out and said you cannot do stacking. So if somebody puts a +2 card and you're the next person and you have a +2 card, you just got to eat those 2 cards and it's not your turn.
Damn. First of all, this is
So
America.
that's something we
Yeah.
thought about.
This is America, bro.
That's my
I
First
play
Amendment.
Uno, my own goddamn
This is a
way.
democracy. All right, we
Yeah.
make our own rules.
The home of the free.
The home of the free. This is my free home.
Who the
right
hell
here.
is this nerd telling us we can't stack right?
Who's this pencil neck dimwit?
Wait, so with you being in Madison for like the first New Year's, right? Your first New Year's in your new place and all this stuff. Did the fireworks go crazy? Like, were you like, damn, we
Yeah,
should?
was there anything fun
No,
going on?
I-
Like Madison centered?
There was a couple of things.
Mhm.
There was, but we actually did go back near you guys for New Year's Eve and Christmas.
Okay, of course,
We-
of course. It's the time for family.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll, not going to do that again next year.
No?
I think I'm like, I think I'm familyed out. I do love my family and everybody, but like, you reach a point where you're like, oh, there's a reason I moved out. Like, there's only so much of this I can take.
Mm-hmm. You
So-
overreach your quota
Yeah, man,
of
that's,
like 2 a year.
Yeah, you just hear 1 or 2 things and you let it fly, and then on the third one you're like, "What did you say? Like, why would you say that? That's super, like, not cool." But yeah, man, I'm actually curious what you guys did. I know you guys are pretty busy, especially Phill.
I had a pretty crazy weekend. I don't know if you want to save me for last. Or...
Yeah, definitely. You're the cherry on top, homie. I had a very uneventful weekend. I worked and I was sick and it was not fun. And that's about it. Like, I was pretty miserable.
Damn, they made you work while you.
Well,
had
they
the
didn't
sniffles?
make me. They didn't make me. It was like my first fucking event that I was like counted as like a lead, and I was gonna call off. Like, I can't, like I almost felt like I couldn't.
Yeah.
So like I just went. I toughed it out, and then I did call off the day after, 'cause
At least you showed up for the event.
yeah, I showed up for the main day and shit, but like the day after, dude, I have never had as much mucus come out of like my head as I did. Like, I had buckets for like 3 days.
Damn.
It was fucking terrible. Like, I couldn't breathe out of my nose. Very unfun. So that's how I spent my New Year's.
You potato head out.
Yeah.
That's what you did. You were Mr. Potato over the weekend. You were
Exactly.
like getting all of that goo out of
Getting
you.
it all out. Getting it all
That
out.
one was funny. That one was your first one that was funny.
It only took me almost an hour. That's the kind of comedy you get here. You get 1 laugh per hour, folks.
Dude, honestly, I've been laughing at your bombs, but
Hell
I don't
yeah.
know if everybody else has.
I bet you all 28 of our strong people laugh at my bombs too.
Anyways,
What about you, Leo?
Oh, this year was like mostly just with family because like we were gonna go out, but everyone that we were supposed to go out with was either sick or like couldn't. They were busy, like they either had to work. Like I know, like my brother also had to work all night too because they're like weddings on New Year's too.
Oh hell no!
And
Fuck
then,
that.
like,
those are the worst. Who gets married on New Year's?
Yeah. And then there's like people that were sick, so everybody's like, "Oh, we'll just stay in this year." But because the whole week we're like, "Yeah, let's go out," And then when it came down to it, everybody was sick or busy. So it's like, I'll just stay home, eat a lot of food. I was like on a couch watching because I know the basketball was on earlier. I was like, I felt so American, just eating food, drinking beer on the couch, watching the game.
It's a nice cold brew. Hell yeah. All you needed was a slice of apple pie.
Yeah, that's all I needed.
That's beautiful. America, baby. What's up? What about you, Phil?
Mine was the complete polar opposite. I didn't spend it with like family at all. So I went out with a friend of the cast, Caesar. It was on episode 50-something or something like that. Magic of Friendship.
How did that happen?
Caesar, so like I said in the previous episode, I've been going out to a lot of more concerts, right? Because I was bit of a depression at the end of 2021. So I made an effort to go out more, right? So for the end of the New Year's, I saw 2 more things. I saw the best movie ever in theaters.
Avatar? Go on.
Nope. You know what it was? I'm not even lying.
Puss in Boots.
Yes. Puss in Boots of The Last Wish.
I saw that movie too.
Did you really?
Great movie.
Dude, 10,
Why?
10 out of 10.
It's so good. It's like such a good movie.
For
Like,
Is
real.
Antonio Banderas still the voice?
yes,
Bro,
and he's so good at it. People,
Mhm.
dude, like people are saying that he might get an Oscar for it. I doubt it, but like they're like, yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
It's such a good movie. Like,
What's it called?
people were saying it was better than Shrek 2.
Shrek 2 is like a pinnacle of like
Yeah.
animated movies.
What's it called?
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Yeah. It's like the third. Honestly, there's like it's like the 5th movie in the Puss in Boots series.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of them.
You don't need to watch anything. Go watch this one. Like, dude, it's like dark. It's like-
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some heavy notes. There was a scene. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything about it because
Luis is back. Tell him.
Luis, did you hear this about Puss in Boots?
I heard the whole thing. I did watch Avatar, and Avatar is great, but I definitely do want to watch Puss in Boots.
Dude, such a
the
good
way it's
movie.
been sold, not only by Phill,
Mhm.
but by everybody who's. I've heard so many opinions. Like, you have to go watch it. It's like
It was
the
rated higher
best
than Avatar
animated
2.
movie.
it beat Avatar.
Yeah, it beat Avatar 2.
God damn, I have to go watch that.
Dude, it
Crazy.
is such a good movie.
I
heard it's phenomenal.
Because at first I was like, oh, I've seen a lot of good things about it. Let me go watch it. And then like,
I thought it was a
like
meme.
$5 Tuesday, and I'm like, fuck it, let's go. We showed up, and I was over there like, damn.
This is the best $5 I ever spent.
Got me questioning my whole life.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
that's
crying.
great.
There's
That's
that scene
fucking
in the middle,
phenomenal.
not to spoil anything, but
Yeah.
it's powerful. Definitely it's a good family friendly movie, either with like your loved ones, your nieces, nephews, whatever. Go out and see it.
Yeah,
And it's funny.
I had like so much fun that movie. It was so funny, but at the same time, it was like they were like talking like, I know it's for kids, but they were talking like a lot of mature subjects.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the whole point of the movie is that he's a cat, so he's got 9 lives. So he's like on his last one, trying to make it count, right? Like that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like it really plays into the ethnics of morality and like makes you question like, wow, we really if you could relate to Puss in Boots, because I was like, I'm Antonio Banderas. This is just a phase for me too.
And then like it deals a lot with like other things like that you think about, like anxiety and like depression and just like wanting to just like make everything count, even though you're just like you can't.
Get closer.
But no, it was like a good movie, and it was funny too. Like the whole time you're entertained, and like the visuals, like dude, it looks so great because like they did it in a way where it's like kind of like a comic book and like a storybook.
So some of the fight scenes went heavy. I was like, what is this, anime? Is this Crunchyroll?
Did Shrek or Fiona make any appearances?
So
that's a spoiler.
not to
All
spoil
right,
anything.
never mind
You
then.
gotta watch
Okay.
it.
You guys gotta
We're
watch it.
gonna. That's all we're gonna
and
put.
then last
the-
question: what is it on any streaming services?
It's
or
in
not
the
yet?
theaters.
No, theaters only, and you gotta
Right now,
watch it.
still?
You gotta watch it. Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. Well, it just came out at like during Christmas.
It came
Oh, I
out around the
didn't- I
same
didn't know
time
when
as
it
the
came out.
Avatar.
I didn't know when it came
Like
out.
literally, Avatar 2
Shut
came
the
out,
fuck-
and then Puss in Boots came out.
Yeah.
People are like, Puss in Boots is infinitely better.
All right, I gotta go watch
It
this.
is a good movie.
I gotta go watch
But like,
this.
dude, the visuals are so good, and like the music and everything, it like makes you feel like, because it like there's so much color to it, but there's also like the way they animate it, where like it'll be moving fast 1 second, all of a sudden the frames dropping, you're like so intrigued, and you're like, what the hell's going on?
It goes heavy. So like I said, I was finishing up the end of the year with Puss in Boots, and then I went out to one more show with a friend of the cast, Caesar. Shout out. And yeah, we went to a basement in Milwaukee. He got like the details of like this underground show, right? I don't know if I should be saying the name of it, but just because only
You should probably not, because
No.
like they probably try to keep it underground for a reason.
No. Hard no.
Well, like,
Oh.
don't say the name, but just say what happened. You know.
Oh yeah.
Don't give out locations.
I'll give it a fake name. I'll call it the Pizza Parlor. It was a catchy name like that.
What, you don't want to call it Comet Pizza while you're at it? You
No,
fucking asshole.
that's the QAnon bullshit. Don't ruin my story with your QAnon bullshit.
You're the one trying to call, like, allude to it.
All right, you know what? We'll drop the Pizza Parlor. Let's just say the
Just call it
barbershop.
Pizzagate.
You're making me happy now. No, I went to the basement show with Caesar, and
You fucking named it, bro.
I went to the barbershop.
There you go, the barbershop.
Yeah, I was at the barbershop in Milwaukee, and they had a live show in the basement, right? And I went there with Caesar, and we were kind of in the back corner of this, and there was this lady there, right? She had like this weird checkered like sweater. I mean, it wasn't weird if you were watching. It was pretty cool, actually. If I had you know what, I actually liked it myself. I would have worn myself too. But they were talking, and then Caesar mentioned that like, oh, we're from Beloit and all this stuff, and then she had mentioned that like, oh, I used to work at the 5 Bar and all this stuff, and like I started like my ears started perking up, and then Caesar was like, oh, they interviewed the owner of 5 Bar, and she's like, oh, you mean Bro Taste This? I was like, she brought up Bro Taste This? Like, all Caesar had to say was like, they did the interview with 5 Bars. Like, oh, they're Bro Taste This.
What's up, dude?
And like, she was behind me, right? So I wasn't like trying to like intrigue in their conversation. As soon as I said like, oh, Bro Taste This, I turned around and was like, hello. Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
And no,
Say more.
no, she used to,
I'll sign your autograph quick and you gotta go.
I'll sign your baby, your boob, whatever you want.
listen, if I do this, everyone else is going to want an autograph. So, I mean, I'm sorry.
no pictures, please. Then just walk away.
No flash photography.
Or be like Bad Bunny, take her phone, just throw it away. She wasn't even trying to take a picture.
Wait. I'm not even
Oh,
gonna
yeah, I
ask.
saw that. Yeah,
I'm not going to ask.
I saw that. Hell yeah. I should have Bad Bunny out. I was like,
you should be
I
like-
should have taken her sweater off and like,
And then walked away, right?
yeah. It was like,
And it'll be like, cancel, bro, taste this. Like, the 10 people, they're trying to cancel it.
damn it. Oh no! I mean, all jokes aside, it was great to have like the interaction with her. Her boyfriend was part of the band. There was like maybe 5 or 6 bands that played that night. It was like big end of the New Year show. So she puts in it like, I'd asked her like, do you mind if we do like a thing for the Instagram? Because like it's wild to actually meet someone that's not like a family or friend, or like someone I went to school with, like that actually listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
So we did a little like end of the New Year's thing, and then that got popular with like just the fact that I'm me, and I had like that stupid brown hat on, and I was going around, and like she put in a good word with me with her band and like her boyfriend's in the band, and then a couple other bands like, oh, this guy's pretty cool, right? There was this band called Bug Moment. They are amazing, and like their lead singer was like, because we're in a basement, right? And they're like, they were like hanging from like the rafters, and it was like Tarzan down. I was like, what? They're gonna go George of the Jungle? I was like, hell yeah. No, but the whole night I was going around, making. That's my scene. All those people that are
Theater kids, yeah,
literally like goth, like punky kids that are away from their family and friends, and they're in some basement. That's my crowd.
Yeah.
And I had made such a presence there that I got the invite to the after party, which was like 2 blocks away from the house. And I was like, okay. So I got the deets on my phone, and I started telling everybody else about the after party.
You fucking moron. Why would you do that?
I was just in the mood. I was having fun. I was like, you know what, man? You're pretty cool. So I was going around to a lot of people at the party. Granted, I had a little bit of vodka in me at this point, a little high noon, so I was feeling really giddy, right? And I was saying, hey, if I could leave you here with any wisdom, 2022 was kind of shitty, right? 2023, let's make it pretty. They're like, oh, wow.
Oh my God, he rhymed. Oh my God, what the fuck?
And I just made the rounds with people, and like we're dancing and all this stuff, and we're in moshing, we're making little pits and shooting off fireworks and stuff. But I got the invite to the after party, and Caesar and I were like, "Is this real? Like, what's gonna happen if we just show up, right?" And it got to midnight, and they had changed the music to like this like live DJ thing. So at that point, a lot of people started leaving. I was like, okay, we might as well see if the after party is real. And we went there. We parked like down the street and started walking to the house. Right at the same time, the pizza guy came up to that house.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, as soon
you
as
made a grand entrance with the pizza guy. Yeah, of course.
As soon as the guy came downstairs for the pizza, he saw us. He saw me with my hat. He was like, "Oh, you made it." I was like, "Yes, I did." He let us in right away, and then we went upstairs. The dude was like, I knew like maybe 2 people that were from the party there. I was like, everybody else was like so much younger. I was like, damn, I never realized how old I am until I was like with a bunch of like 23-year-old dudes. It's like, holy shit, I'm old.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna ask about. Like,
they were all like easily like 21, 23, 24. Just I probably was maybe the oldest guy at the after party, and it was nuts. And I made a good impression. We grew in numbers, and like they.
This had to have been a school party, like a college thing, no?
No, this is the Milwaukee like punk scene.
But there's not a single fucking like 30-year-old hanging out with them. I'm kind of surprised.
They all got families, man.
Yeah, I guess
they're all doing what you guys are doing, playing your little loteria and your little unos, and going to work sick.
That's a good point. Maybe does that say more about you?
Me, I'm in some basements, just mucking around with today's youth.
What do you think, Luis? I see you laughing. What does that say more about Phill, or what is it? Who does that speak about? Maybe you should be there playing
I think
loteria.
It definitely does. Yeah, maybe we should have invited you. Here we are doing coke and Adderall with a bunch of 21-year-olds talking about, my dad just doesn't get me, he's a fucking asshole. What the fuck, he doesn't give me keys to the charger anymore. It's like, yeah, maybe.
I tried showing him Deftones, but he was not really into it.
Dude, you're the worst, bro.
I went to an after party, which I had
stealing from a party you were barely invited to.
And then I went to another after party who was starting to invite other people to some other guy's after party. I was a menace.
You were the worst guest. You are the worst guest. They have you over for the first time.
You're a piece of shit.
You're not even at the after party yet, and you're already telling, bro, you gotta go there, man. I'll see you there.
Yeah, tell him you know me.
So you're gonna walk up and be like, I'm here with Phill. Wait, who?
Phill, the guy with the hat. Yeah. The sombrero.
Bill?
The guy with the rhyme?
Some guy named Bill, I think, told me to come here. Damn it. That was so pretty funny. No, I had a great, great community, and hopefully I can get, in that community scene in Milwaukee and Madison, too. I want to get into the more basement shows in Madison. More local music, more local talent.
Yeah, you were just up here. Mm-hmm. We were just up here. We did a little tour, so people can keep an eye out for the channel. We had a fucking blast, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
What'd you guys do? Tell people.
He took us out to the global food market and
kissed.
I was showing him
tongue on tongue, nipple on nipple.
I was showing him my porn collection. I was like,
sounds very Japanese.
See this? This is all incognito. This is all incognito.
You're the last.
You've been really thinking about this, huh? You've been really thinking about this.
It's been on my mind. I was like, don't go back. Don't open it up. Don't open a new tab. I've been strong. I've been really strong. So thank you.
We hung out. We went to a global market and had some delicious food. Looked at some interesting culinary ingredients, and then we're gonna put that out. Should be by the time this comes out, it should be out on our channel. Mm-hmm. So and it was fun, man. Good time.
Definitely recommend check it out if you're in the Madison area, because more than likely you'll either see Luis and A-Rod or you'll see me trying to pick up any of the other anime weeaboo chicks.
Hell yeah.
Dude, guess what? So there's this Mexican restaurant called the A-Rod's Birria and Grill. Fucking amazing. I think there's 3 locations in Madison, but there's one inside the Global Market over by the East Town Mall. And I was talking about it with a friend of mine, and they were like, "Oh," so they went into one of the locations for A-Rod's. Mm-hmm. Homeboy was a construction worker for a while, and then got laid off during COVID. Was working as a bartender and waiter, and just wasn't making ends meet. So him and his wife decided, like, why don't we just sell tacos? Like, we'll make birria. And this was in like 2020, 2021. So before the big craze of birria took off through TikTok, they started making tacos, was getting like pretty popular and pretty busy. And soon enough, around his house, he just had like trays and trays of aluminum foil wrapped like birria tacos and stuff. And he's super busy, goes to buy meat one day, and he's like, you know, grab all this fucking red meat, and he looks at it on the conveyor belt on the shopping cart, and he's like, oh fuck, this looks crazy. And the cashier was like, what do you do with all this meat, if you don't mind me asking? And he goes, oh, I make tacos, like, you know, if you're interested, let me know. And she goes, no, I already got a guy for that. And he's like, oh yeah, who? Pulls out a business card, it's his. And now, full circle, homeboy has 3 locations. So for everybody in the Madison area or anybody wanting to travel, I really want to get to meet him. I'd love to have him on, but I really recommend A-Rod.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Super good tacos.
Reach out,
Super
bro. Dude, for real, Luis, now that you live in Madison, bro, you can probably reach out to like a dozen restaurateurs that would probably be pretty interesting to have.
Yeah. Even just to like, hey, can I just like make a video about your food? Like, it's super good. And they'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, absolutely.
No, but
similar to like what I did with Bandit Tacos. Like, I was just like, oh, can I record? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. We don't, like, just tag us. And I did. And like, people love that post. And Bandit Tacos was super good. So yeah, I want to keep doing that. But yeah, shout out A-Rod's Tacos. Super
shout
good
out.
Food.
Spell it out.
Well, yeah, we'll put it in the description and all that stuff. So if anybody's interested.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Keep an eye on the channel for more interviews, more videos, definitely more content coming out. And thank you all so much for the support. We can't wait for 2023 and everything that it has in store. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you all next week.